Since I started this channel, I'm very sure I have been 99% correct on all my trade calls. You can go and watch all my previous videos. They are not much. I just started this channel around August, so the videos are not that much. You can go and verify, watch the videos and see how correct I have been all along. Also, last week's trade call has all hit target. I know I am amazing, right? But no need to continue blowing my trumpet. Let's just dive into what I will be looking at for next week. All right. But before we go, kindly subscribe if you are new. Also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we drop our fire videos. Thank you as you do so. As you already know, I trade the majors mostly, so I always start my analysis from the dollar index. So the dollar index, as usual, measures the strength or the weakness of the United States dollar. So if the dollar index is going up, that means you should expect a strong dollar, all right, across the dollar pairs. And if price is coming down, then you should expect a weak dollar across the dollar pairs, right? All right, so which means between this place and this place, dollar was strong. Between this zone and this zone, dollar was strong. And overall, you can see dollar is in an uptrend, right? But if you understand the concept of market structure, I've talked about market structure in one of my videos. I'm going to tag the video somewhere around here. All right, so I've talked about market structure, all right, and because of my in-depth knowledge of market structure, I knew price was going to reverse from this place into one of these zones, this zone 1 or this trend line 2. So I'm expecting price to keep falling, collapsing into either this zone or this zone. So what would that mean for the US dollar? Which means I'm expecting a weak US dollar, at least for now, even judging by the momentum of the close, because this is a new month. Happy new month, guys, by the way. So this is a new month, and judging from the past 2 months, we've been seeing red candlesticks, right? Here we had a doji, and here we closed with a full body candlestick, and we can see that the bearish momentum is still in place, so which means we still have sellers in the market. All right, so why do I know that price is going to come back into the zone? Judging from the monthly time frame perspective, now is because this zone has been tested multiple times if looking left. All right, now that is why I know for like 80% sure that price is going to come into this zone or into this zone. All right, but if we break below this zone, man, that means the dollar is going to keep collapsing significantly to the downside. But for now, let's look at this area and this area as our possible reversal area. All right, now the monthly time frame has given us the bigger picture. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's look at more recent price action. Let's look at more obvious obstacle. So last week when dollar was just moving sideways and doing some kind of things, I saw so many traders confused, and I even had to send a message to the group to like tell them that don't panic, this is the long-term play of the US dollar. I know that dollar is still coming into the zone. Well, before the end of the week, I was proven right, and dollar did come into the zone. All right, now what I'm looking for the US dollar is for price to keep falling down to this zone on the monthly time frame. However, on the weekly time frame, we are sitting on a support. Why is this place a support? It's a support because price has reacted to this zone significantly to the downside. This zone pushed price down, so that is why I'm being skeptical about trading the dollar right now. Of course, with this momentum, it shows that, or especially on the monthly time frame, it shows that price is ready to fall. All right, so but I'll be expecting some kind of a pullback, either around this zone or what I'll be showing you on the daily time frame in a bit. Let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, here we are on the daily time frame. All right, so I've been calling I remember I started calling dollar short after this long daily candlestick. You can go and look at around last 2 months video, around the ending of September or so, or early October. After we had this candlestick, that was when I started calling these shorts, all right, because it broke out of a major trend line. But let's forget about the past. Let's focus on the future. All right, so now I also in last week's video I also mentioned that price is going to keep falling after this break and after the break and retest of this trend line, and that's exactly what price has been doing. We've been collapsing to the downside. Now, I said I was going to show you something on the daily time frame. Remember, I have to explain this in detail so that you understand the behavior of the US dollar. All right, that is why I'm taking my time to explain this. All right, because whatever happens on this particular chart is going to affect all the US dollar pairs, or let me say almost all the US dollar pairs, all right, if not all. So that is why it's important to actually explain the dollar index in depth. All right, now this is what I said I was going to show you on the daily time frame. Price has tested here multiple times, which I've talked about in my last 3 videos. All right, and I've always said I expect price to come into that zone. And can you see that? You see why I'm always right, right? Now we are almost in that zone. So I will be expecting some kind of a pullback around this zone, because as you know, the market cannot just keep falling to the downside. It doesn't happen that way. If the market moves in a straight line, we'll all be millionaires, if not billionaires, right? So don't expect price to just collapse all the way from this place straight into our target. No, all right. I believe we're going to have some kind of pullback around this zone, so which means we are not having too many options to trade with for next week, but at least we still have to this downside. And maybe if we're going to see a deep pullback, we might look for buying opportunity or trading opportunity in favor of the US dollar. So if you are not already on the Telegram channel, the link is going to be in the description below, so you may want to join the Telegram channel, because I post updates from time to time. If we come into this zone, I'll start pulling back and I see good trading opportunities. Why shouldn't I call it? All right, why shouldn't I call it? I'll definitely call it. All right, so that is why you should join the channel. And we may also blast below and keep coming downwards. Anything can happen, right? But I'll be expecting some kind of a halt around this zone. All right, now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I think the 4-hour time frame is going to be pretty much the same. I was happy when I saw this pullback during the NFP news release last week, but we collapsed back and came back into this zone. I didn't really like it. I would have loved to see that pullback come into this zone. All right, so if on Monday price decides to start going back, now I've been saying price is going to come into this zone, but another thing might happen on Monday, on Sunday, or on Tuesday for next week anyways. Price might decide to start pushing back up. I think if we start pushing back up, I'll even be happy. Why will I be happy? Because I know price will want to come to this zone that has been tested multiple times. So we want to come into this zone to now sell. This way we have a big space to trade from here to this downside here, right? So I would even prefer we reverse from here, but if that doesn't happen, well, I'll expect price to keep collapsing down to this place. All right, now let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is also pretty much the same, so I'll expect price to come into this zone or pull. If we start going back up, don't get it twisted, I'll expect the pullback into this zone, but surely to still collapse into this my zone. But overall, at least for now, dollar is super bearish. All right, so I see no reason why we should be buying it except we are scalping it. All right, we can't hold for a long time right now. Right, so now knowing what the dollar index has in mind to do, let's go look at some dollar pairs. I think I shouldn't even be making this week's video because I've pretty much talked about everything I need to talk about the US dollar from last week. All right, and by the way, watch out for a video that I'll be dropping. I usually withdraw from my prop firm accounts from time to time. I've mentioned here I have about 8 prop firm accounts for 5 different companies. All right, so you'll be wondering how I place trades on all of them. Anyways, I think sometime ago I dropped a link on my Telegram group where you get software that is going to help or bind all your accounts together, so when you place trade on one, it replicates on the others. Right now I'll be making a video on one of my withdrawals. I withdraw from time to time, but I just feel like, okay, I should talk to you and show you that yes, this can actually be done. I'm not going to do it in this particular video. I'm going to do that maybe in one of my midweek videos, maybe on Monday or on Tuesday. I'm going to release that one. All right, so but you may want to watch out for that video. All right, and if you want to learn how to trade like me, we have the our forex professional course. All right, that is $85, but we have a 10% promo going on. And so if you purchase now, you'll be buying it for like 76 point, I think $5. Then we have the Zoom one-on-one mentorship class, which we started on the 1st of December. That is also $400, but there's an ongoing discount, so you can get it for $250. You get to enjoy 3 months free signals and some other perks like that. And I'm happy to tell you that we've our automated payment system is now ready. So the link to purchasing the course is going to be in the description below, so you may want to check it out if you're interested. Now let's go back to the business of the hour. Now, like I said, I don't even need to make any video. I was not even supposed to make any video this week, because if you watch my last week's video, then you don't need to watch this. But I know you are watching because maybe you might see one or two things that would be of interest to you, or at least add to what you already know. So last week I said, notice how this particular monthly candle has taken out all these previous months of price action on the USD CHF. All right, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's say 6.5 months. Imagine 6.5 months of price action gone just with this one huge candlestick. So what does that tell you? Sellers are still pretty much in the market, dude. Sellers are still pretty much in the market. It's so obvious with this one candlestick. I mean, one candlestick clearing 6.5 months of price action, and you want to start buying. You must be joking, man. Now I expect, in last week's video I said I was expecting price to break below this trend line. I think this trend line is not going to be, it's not going to be obvious here. So let's go to the weekly time frame. I mean, this particular cover was the cover for last week's video. All right, now I said I was expecting price to break below here, and as you can see, last week's candle has pretty much closed below this area. All right, I'm still currently holding this trade. All right, and I'm in some kind of profit. Okay, so I'll be expecting price to do what? Collapse into this downside. At this point, my stop loss is pretty much wide, and that is how to trade, man. If you are sure about a trade, why not give it a wider stop loss? Now I trade big accounts, so I place my risk on percentage. I know my trade calls are always correct, like let's say 99% of the time, but well, I don't trade all this 99%. So let me just say I have some kind of a 65-70% win rate. Let's put it at that. I've not quantified it before, but I think I'll check my dashboard on one of my Profem accounts. I'll be able to tell. Maybe I'll even share a screenshot. So I know my win rate. So because of that, sometimes I decide to give myself room for market to breathe, because if I put my stop loss too tight, I might get stopped out before price decides to move into my direction. So what I do is I'll put my stop loss far away. All right, like my stop loss is around here. All right, so I'll maybe when price keeps falling, it is not just going to fall straight up into this zone. All right, it's going to play around, then maybe give us another entry zone. So at that point, I'll place another trade and drag the previous stop loss to maybe break even or secure some profit. All right, but for now we are just breaking the zone. I spoke in details how I was going to trade these guys. Notice something. This is a double top on the weekly time frame. Chart patterns on the weekly time frame or on a higher time frame is a big deal that you dare not overlook. All right, if not, you're going to get burned. So this is the neckline broken. Wow, this is interesting. I think dollar is still in trouble here. So this is the neckline broken, trend line broken, double top live. It's active. All right, so I'll expect price to keep pushing to the downside here, but of course not straight up. If you missed your entry, just calm down. We are going to get another entry definitely. Let's go to a daily time frame. Let's look at what is happening here. So last week we closed with last Friday we closed with a dodgy candle. All right, so this dodgy candle on the smaller time frame looked like a break and a retest, then this dodgy. And remember, dodges are continuation candlestick patterns. All right, so actually I'll be expecting price to keep what falling to the downside, but I won't be surprised if price wants to play around here for a bit. I won't be surprised. But expecting price to shoot all the way very to the upside here. Well, for now, I don't see that happening, except let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So I'll show you. Except price comes back into this zone and breaks above this my trend line here, then that's when I'll start looking for buys. All right, but for now, we've broken, we've retested, and now we are falling to the downside. So I expect price to keep pushing lower. All right, now let me show you on the 1-hour time frame. We broke, the news catapulted us back into this zone. I was so pretty busy. I've been busy for towards the end of last week. I have other stuffs I am into, so I had to go look at them because they actually needed my attention. All right, so I actually missed many trades that ordinarily I would have taken. All right, so it's annoying, but well, there's no problem. We still have next week to make money, right? So we went back into this zone. When I saw this dodgy and this candlestick, I'm very sure that I would have placed this trade, but I wasn't there. I wasn't on my desk to do that. I would have called this trade, and I would have called it on the Telegram group, and my those that have bought the course, I give them a free signal, so I would have actually told them to sell this after the close of this candlestick, but it is what it is, right? So we've broken, we've retested, and now it looks like we are going down. All right, so USD CHF, I'm expecting a huge move or a huge boost to the downside. Sellers are still very much active in this market. All right, now let's look at USD JPY. USD JPY also, I've talked about this. I don't need to talk about this right now. I've talked about it in details in my previous videos, but let's just talk about it, at least for those that are just probably seeing our videos for the first time. All right, now I'm sorry for this. Let me just remove this. All right, so as you can see, look at last month's candle. Man, took out 2 months of price action, right? And you can see how full the body is. A full body candle, full-fledged body candle. So I expect price to keep pushing to this downside, at least to maybe around this zone. Well, I know this is still very much, this is an ambitious move, but following price action, sorry, yeah, no, market structure rather, I'll be expecting price to come into this zone. Well, it's going to take a long time for that to happen. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's look at areas where we should be looking at right now. Now, look at how last week candle closed. Such a huge candle, right? So I mapped out this zone, but it's still not giving me that clear chart I would have loved to see. All right, so on this particular chart, I've been calling USD JPY short after the break and retest of this trend line, right? And that's exactly, I actually call this zone as our next level targets. You see, you can go to my Telegram group, you see there. You can go to my previous videos. If you think I'm joking, this thing has been here for, I think, 2 of my previous videos, I think last 2 weeks or so, if I'm correct. All right, so I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Thank God the numbers don't lie. All right, and YouTube videos has been uploaded for like this thing. You see the dates there. Anyways, I don't have to prove to anyone if I'm correct or not. I know what I do. All right, so now I'm just going to edit this. All right, I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to tell you why I am editing these targets down to this place. Right. So now this is no longer 133, this is now 132. So this is my next level target on for USD JPY. And why is that? I didn't capture this zone before. Price has tested here before, reacted to it, we broke above, we retested it, shot up, came back into that zone, we went back up, all right, and now we are coming back into that zone. If we come back into that zone, that is where I'll be expecting some kind of a pullback from, all right. We'll be expecting some kind of a pullback around here. Those that have bought the course can at least understand this better. All right, so if you want to understand how I plot these levels and how I spot them, all right, across all pairs, you don't have to wait for me to make these videos before you go to your chart and map them out and know what to do. There are all tons of assets out there that you can trade. So this my strategy works with any kind of asset you are trading. So if you're interested in the course, the link is in the description below. All right, so I'll be expecting a pullback around here for the USD JPY. All right, let's go to the lower time frame. The lower time frame is still pretty much like the higher time frame. Okay, so I'll be expecting price to push down here. Are we going to come pull back into this zone? I would like to see that. Are we going to keep falling? Yes, of course. That is also very much a possibility. So let me go to the 15 minutes time frame, because we need to look for entries, right? I'm not seeing any entries at the moment. All right, so but let me just leave this here. All right, why am I leaving this here? Maybe if we pull back and we retest and I see selling pressure, then I will sell. From there, I will put my stop loss here. This is how I put my stop loss. I'm not the fan of those people that maybe, let's say we get a pullback around here, then I'll put my stop loss here. What kind of stuff? I don't do that. I don't do that. I want to put it where I think the market is never going to come back to. I don't care what happens. Even if we keep shooting down to the downside, I don't care. All right. And this is what makes me more profitable than others. You are looking for a 20 pip stop loss, you're looking for a 10 pip stop loss, all right, and you get stopped out before the market moves. You see that? So why should I guess or predict the right direction of the market and still use a small stop loss so that when I get stopped out and price finally move, I start kicking myself? No, I won't do that. All right, I put it where I know that if price should come back there, then I was wrong about the whole trading idea all along. I won't be mad. I did the right thing and I got stopped out. But imagine me putting my stop loss here, then and I get stopped out. Then price now shoots into my direction. Imagine that. That must be very well. Let me not insult myself. Okay. So, but it's going to be hot. It's going to hurt my feelings. All right, I know what the market had in mind to do, but I was too greedy. I wanted a large stop lot size, because remember, the tighter your stop loss, the bigger your lot size, and that's why most traders like using small stop losses. All right, and how many times will your stop loss get hit before price finally moves in your direction? So I understand that if you are trading a small account, that would be a difficult thing to do, to put your stop loss here, right? And that is why I always say, instead of trading $100 account or a $200 account, why not, if you know you are good at what you do, if you know you are good at forex, or if you are not even good, you are going to definitely lose that $100. You are going to definitely lose that $200. So get mastery first, master the skill, then purchase a prop firm account. All right, with a prop firm account, you can calculate your risk properly, you can trade, and you can put your stop loss where you should be putting your stop loss. All right, not putting your stop loss and you'll not be able to sleep at night. You'll be opening one eye to look at your trade, and you'll be your emotion will be all over the places, because you know your stop loss is not where originally it should be. All right, and that is why we panic when we place trade. Like me, I don't panic because I know where I have put my stop loss is the right place to what put my stop loss. All right, so if I get stopped out, that means I was wrong all along. All right, but why you panic sometimes is because you know your stop loss is not where it's supposed to be, and you also know you enter the trade because you know where the market is going to. All right, if sometimes, I'm not saying I use a wide stop loss all the time, so there are some times where I also catch if 20 pips stop loss, 25 pips, 30 pip stops. You've seen that. Sometimes I even catch like 17 pips. It happens all the time, and that's when you see my stop my lot size very, very large. All right, it happens. All right, maybe in when there's a double top at a retest area. All right, you might not understand what I'm saying, but those that have purchased the course will understand what I'm saying. Maybe you see a double top at a break and retest area, so you know, and the overall trend is either down or up depending on what you are looking for. All right, well, since you're talking about a double top now, so the trend has to be down, then there has been a break, then there's a retest, and there's a double top. Then of course you should expect price to do what, keep collapsing. Right now, I'll be expecting, we've broken below this trend line, so maybe if there's some kind of a pullback, that will be good. But overall, I'll be expecting what, price to work fall into this zone. This is our next level target. All right, so at least now I'm letting you understand that you shouldn't be buying, you should still be selling, or even if you want to buy, you shouldn't be holding for a long period of time. All right, let's look at USD card. USD card has been funny. All right, USD card is beginning to piss me off. Let's start from the monthly time frame on USD card. USD card, sorry for all this messy stuff. All right, let me just drag them away. All right, USD card, we've had 2 months of bearish price action. All right, so we are still in a range, because if you look at from this zone to this zone, we are creating equal highs and equal lows, right? Let's go to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, there is no clear movement yet. I think I'm just going to skip USD card. Let's go to other currency pair. I'm going to be breaking this down in the group. All right, we've broken, we've retested, we had this huge bearish candle. So overall, I'll still be expecting USD card to collapse into this trend line at least. All right, but the move has not been so clean. I'm going to be breaking this down in details in the group. All right, let's go and look at other pairs. Let's look at gold. Gold is at this interesting zone. If you look at my previous videos, in fact last week's video, I predicted gold to come into this zone as my target, initial target 1 2 3. All right, and now we are there. All right, we'll be expecting price to do what? Break above this zone. Since we're in an uptrend, that's the only reasonable thing I should be thinking about, right? But we can as well also start collapsing from here. But for now, I won't be calling any trade. As a matter of fact, since we've been going up, creating higher highs and higher lows, all right, so what I'll be expecting for gold is to see gold break above this zone, retest it, and keep trading higher. All right, but is that a possibility? I think at this point I'm looking at a 50-50% chance. All right, I'm looking at a 50-50% chance. Let's see how that goes anyway. All right, we might still come into this zone. All right, at least that will give us room on the dollar index to fall into that our zone. Then maybe we'll see some kind of a pullback before we keep pushing. I remember, if dollar is bearish, gold is going to be bullish. All right, for now I'm not seeing anything clear on gold. Then on Euro USD, last week I said, I told you not to sell. All right, I specifically said that. Now Euro USD is at this trend line, my overall target from way back. All right, you can go and look at my previous video. I've been waiting for Euro USD to come into this trend line, and we are there. So what happens next? I think we need to be patient with that. So you see why I said all my trades are at my target. All right, so because of that, I don't have any trading decision at the moment, but it looks like we are breaking above it. So I would like for us to break properly, then I'll wait for a retest for us to what? Trade. Remember, this is the 4 hour time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, you can see we are obviously trading above it, but let's have a clean break first. Then when we have a clean break, we have been impulsive to the upside from here, so we are definitely going to get a pullback if we should break above properly. Okay, so let's break above properly, get our pullback, and keep trading to the upside. All right, so I'm going to give a detailed explanation on the Telegram channel. So if you're not on the Telegram channel, once again, try to join the Telegram channel. Link is going to be down below. And on AUD USD, I have been calling this bullish too, and now we've been trading above this counter trend line. Let me just delete this so that you see properly. We are trading above. Let me delete this also. So we're trading above this counter trend line. All right, we traded this in the signal group last week, and we made a lot of money. I think the early part of last week, I think around Tuesday or so. Was it Tuesday, Wednesday or so? I can't remember because I got busy afterwards. So now that we're trading around here, I'll be expecting price to come into this zone. All right, but it's not just going to go straight up. All right, we are going to get some pullbacks. Of course, as usual, I'll be sending details in the group. But overall, for now, it is delicate to be trading in favor of the USD, because overall on the dollar index is pretty much bearish on the dollar. All right, so which means all pairs paired against the US dollar is going to what? Be stronger than the US dollar. All right, so put that in mind. All right, so I'm going to drop charts analysis because I have to bounce right now. I have a meeting to attend. I just received a text message, and that's why I started rushing things. All right, so before we go, our course is ready. So if you want to learn how to trade like me, so that you catch all these peeps like me, you might want to consider purchasing the course. It's not expensive. We're running a 10% discount right now, so you get to get it for 76 points something dollars. And if you want the Zoom one-on-one mentorship where you get to have a live session with me, all right, so I show you my charts, we trade live, and maybe I get to mention one or two things that has not been mentioned in the course, all right, and you get to ask me direct questions. You get to talk to me directly, all right. What is bothering you, your challenges in the market, you get to explain to me live, all right, on our video Zoom one-on-one mentorship program. So you may want to look at that too. The price is $400, but we are currently on a promo. Remember, it's a giveaway season. This is the end of the year, so you can get that for $250. So the link to the course and the link for payment, everything is fully automated now. You can just check the description below to see the link. And if you are wondering the face behind the microphone, my picture is on the sales page there, so you get to see my face for the first time. You get to see the face behind the microphone, you get to see the face behind the chart, right? Behind the charts. Okay, so this is an opportunity to place a face to my name, to my voice, a face of Let's Trade community. Okay, once again, thanks for staying to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I wish you a successful trading week. Bye guys.